Looks like we are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our daily success call for Wednesday, the 16th of March, 2022. John Levinny is here with you. Tomorrow's St. Patty's Day. Unless you're in Australia, then today is St. Patty's Day. So happy St. Patty's Day to everybody. I will not be here with you tomorrow. I'll be eating corned beef and cabbage, pretending that I'm Irish. I do see some of our semi-Irish people here with us. Everybody's Irish on St. Patty's Day, right? So I see Marlena, you're Irish, right? Alec, Irish. Stu, no, yes. Shannon, Lynn's here. Yes. Susan, good to see you, Susan. Elise, looking very Irish today. Hi, Crystal. Terry, Irish as well. Yes. Oh my goodness. You know, my daughter, sometimes people have asked her because I'm Italian, she's half Italian, right? and sometimes people have asked her, do you like pizza? And she's like, of course I like pizza. I'm Italian. What a goof. What a goof. Hey, you know what? That reminds me of, we were just congratulating and acknowledging Stu for having survived whatever he was in the hospital for. Surviving life. And it reminds me of a quote from Albert Green Hubbard where he said, don't take life too seriously. You'll never get out of it alive. Good times. Hey guys, I got an idea. You want me to run my idea past you?
Yes, please.
Yes, you got it, Shannon, just for you. Nobody else, just for Shannon. So I was thinking, because we've got, you guys know Lana, right, from the UK. I introduced you to her a couple of weeks ago. She's going to be out here more with us. But one of the things that I was talking with her about was the content that we cover in sessions like what we do here, which isn't, technical. It isn't necessarily how to operational or logistical or anything like that. It's more about the mindset of being a successful entrepreneur. And so, on the performance coach side, that's what we bring to the table. That's what I've been asked to do here for this group. And so I recommended some books for you guys. So anyway, I was saying to Lana, one of the things that you could do to keep it fresh and to never, have a mystery about, what would be a good thing to talk about with people is just go through the books that I recommended. There was 5 of them. You guys remember those books, right? Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, Power of Consistency by Weldon Long, and Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. So yes, guys, I actually read the stuff that I recommend to you. I'm not in some ivory tower saying, oh, you lowly people, you did it. Me, I'm no, you, no. We're all in this together, right? So I thought what I would do today is open this book to a random page and we can discuss it. How many of you are reading this book? Any of you right now?
Which book? Which one are you opening?
This book right here.
Oh, hold on. Let me find you.
Secrets of the Millionaire.
I haven't started it yet, but I'm.
Okay, well, you're going to start it right now because I'm about to close my eyes and put my finger down somewhere, and I just opened to a page. This is page 74 in this printed version. Let me back up to page 73 so I could see what the topic is, and it is wealth file number 4. Rich people think big, poor people think small. Okay. Wow, did I just pick a great page? Yeah. Sign me up. What do you guys think? Yeah, Shannon? We'll take this up.
I think it's great. That's a good subject.
Okay, good.
Rich people think big, poor people think small.
Right. So says here, we once had a trainer teaching at one of our seminars who went from a net worth of 250,000 to over 600 million in only 3 years. When I asked his secret, he said, everything changed the moment I began to think big. I refer you to the law of income, which states you will be paid in direct proportion to the value you deliver according to the marketplace. I'll say that again. The principle, what he's calling the law of income, you will be paid in direct proportion to the value you deliver according to the marketplace. You guys get that? Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Good. It says here the key word is value. It is important to know that 4 factors determine your value in the marketplace: supply, demand, quality, and quantity.
Okay.
So in terms of value, it is important to know that 4 factors determine your value in the marketplace: supply, demand, quality, quantity. In my experience, the factor that presents the biggest challenge for most people is the quantity. The quantity factor simply means how much of your value do you actually deliver to the marketplace. All right, let's take this up. You know, the late Jim Rohn said, in fact, this is my favorite Jim Rohn quote ever. He said, if you want to increase your income, increase your value to the marketplace. If you want to increase your income, increase your value to the marketplace. So what did he just say here? The value you deliver based on what the marketplace thinks, not based on what you think.
Right.
Was the marketplace think? Pat, you got your hand up. You want to come out here, Pat? This is, I got you turned on so hot that you just got to talk. Come on out, Pat.
No, I was just thinking about that last night. I read something about too many people on Etsy price their items too low because they don't think that they have enough value, you know, to give to people. And it's about 35 years ago. My young son, he was 10 or 11, wanted to do something and charged $10 an hour, $50 an hour for it. And his father laughed and he said, "You're never going to do that." He had 15 jobs in the next 6 months at $50 an hour, teaching seniors how to use a computer.
Wow.
You guys remember Video
That's
Professor?
awesome.
You guys remember
Video.
Video Professor, bald guy with the mustache? Try my product,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to teach you how to use your mouse.
Oh, yeah,
and your
yeah.
keyboard.
Yeah, I remember him.
All right.
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of people don't know how to use their mouse and keyboard. But what Harvard's talking about here, is what some people have referred to as the law of compensation. He's calling it the law of income. So, quality, quantity, supply, and demand. Those are the 4 factors that determine your value. According to who? According to the marketplace. So then what we've got to do is let's examine each of these. Let's take a look at this. Where he said most people fall down is quantity. I'll corroborate that. I'll agree. I'll agree with that. Okay. So everyone here, let's first talk about supply. All right. So if we're talking about delivering value to the marketplace, there's got to be a supply that the marketplace considers valuable. Do you have supply? Well, yeah. I mean, in this case, we've got the fodder of, here's cups, t-shirts, whatever it happens to be. Okay. So here is the supply that already exists before you showed up here, and you're here to move it into the marketplace. So we've got supply handled. That's good. Notwithstanding supply chain issues and, hey, we're out of that size of cup, and you know what, we're going to have to get the t-shirts from a different source. And okay, fine. Demand. Demand.
All right.
Well, demand, you see, this is what drives commerce, right? I mean, I could have all the supply in the world, but if nobody wants it, what am I sitting there playing with my coffee cups or something? So we've got to induce or augment demand. Hence, marketing, right? Impinging on the attention of the public and putting their attention on what you supply, right? Causing that demand to increase. I mean, that's the whole point. Right. Good. So how many of us have demand? Oh, now I could see. Where's the customers? Oh, hold on a second here. I got supply. Where's the demand? So you're new in all this. You haven't done much marketing yet. See, here's the problem with quantity, right? Increased demand yields what? Increased quantity of value being delivered into the marketplace. So where's the first place we're falling down for a lot of people? Demand. And how do we cause demand? We market, we promote. Okay. We had a meeting in Vegas for the launch group, and we're going to do another one. But we had a meeting in Vegas, and there was a contest that was presented to the attendees. And the contest was, here's a pile of money, and I will give it, the person who was offering the money, okay, I will give it to whoever can design, publish, and make at least one sale of a print-on-demand e-commerce product while in this room. And
Okay.
and we were in the room for a couple of days. All right, so it didn't have to be exactly that day, although it could be. Anyway, people got to work on designing. So suddenly there was, I mean, you could see the money. There's the money, right? And it's worth more than whatever profit you might make on this cup or T-shirt or whatever. Ah, very good motivation. Well, that's nice. So guess what happened? Supply occurred, right? People designed products. That occurred. So now we have supply. But what about demand? And so people were, kind of doing their stuff, being a little bit quiet and trying to figure out, all right, let's get it posted here or there. And as the senior performance coach in all this, I just spoke up to the whole room and I said, guys, I'm just gonna interject something here. If anybody's interested in getting that money, and everybody, of course, was listening intently. I said, here's what I would do. Here's what I would do. You can do whatever you want. Here's what I would do. I would think of a specific target audience, the ideal customer. I would design a product specifically for them. And then I would do whatever it took to get in communication with them about this awesome new thing that they could be the first to own. So I'm thinking of, I don't know, a relative. Here's my brother. Fantastic. What's he into? Great. Let me go ahead and design something for him. And I'm going to call him on the phone. Yes, I'm going to impinge on his attention. And I'm going to put that attention on the thing that I just made for the world, including him. And he gets to be the first to buy it. And so now you can buy it. And I'll get the money. Now, I wasn't in the contest. I wasn't playing the game. But I just said, if I was playing a game, that's how I would play it. There's no rules.
Right.
To promotion and increasing demand. Do you think there's rules? Like you need to go get a marketing degree or something? God help you. You know how many people are coming out of university with marketing degrees that couldn't sell their way out of a paper bag?
Mm-hmm.
Get it sold. Increase that demand. Quality. All right, so we've covered supply and demand. Quality. Do you have good stuff? Do you know it? Well, then that's pretty much handled. If you don't know it, then you damn well better sell it to you first. What do you're going to go offer garbage to people? No. Actually, people buy anything. So quality, according to who? According to the marketplace. Okay. But I think it's pretty tall order for you to promote something and cause demand knowingly and willingly for stuff that you don't think is worth it. Right. I mean, there are sociopaths out there. Hopefully you're not one of them. Okay, but the idea that what you're offering is good and right and of quality, sufficient quality for the customer. Okay, so is that known? Well, it damn well better be known. In the Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Wattles talked about this thing called use value. And many of you haven't read that book, but the idea of use value is where you're giving more in terms of usability, utility, pleasure, satisfaction, benefits. You're giving more than you're receiving in cash value. And the example that he gave was, let's say that I went to Baffin Bay and I met with the Eskimo, and I had a painting worth thousands of dollars, and I exchanged the painting with the Eskimo for whatever the number was, $50 worth of pelts, animal skins, right? He said, you might be thinking that, wow, that's a terrible deal. Well, actually, no, I just wronged the Eskimo guy because he has no use for the painting. What's he going to do with it? He does have use for the pelts.
Okay.
Different scenario. Here I am in Baffin Bay and I exchange, here's a gun worth $10 or whatever. We're going back 100 years, right? Now guns are worth more. Good investment, by the way. So I exchanged, here's the $10 gun for the $50 worth of pelts. You may think I've wronged him again because the pelts are worth more. No, he has use for the gun. He can go get more pelts and feed his family, and good deal. Okay.
Yeah.
So use value. I see you're getting this, Shannon. That's great. So, so quality, what is the quality to the marketplace? The painting is worthless to me. The gun, I'll take the gun. Yeah. Quantity. Well, that's directly related to demand. Look, here's a good problem for everybody to have. The problem of we can't keep up with demand. Now we got to look at supply.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, none of you, to my knowledge, have had to look at supply at this point. Oh crap, we're running out of product. That's a good problem to have. I mean, it's still a problem, but yeah, quantity, right? Which is related to what? To demand. There was a story about this hot dog stand. I got this from Dan Kennedy, one of the highest paid copywriters. And he was talking about this hot dog stand that operated one night per week, and they were raking in money. And one night per week, and they would set up camp outside of this nightclub. And at 2 a.m, when the drunks were pouring out of the place, needing a quick fix of food, right? They were raking it in. What was the main factor there that caused them such quantity all at once? Well, a starving crowd, right?
The demand.
There's the demand, right? Here's hungry people, and there's you with your hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Quantity.
And they're drunk, and they'll pick the first thing they see.
Whatever, hot dog. Yeah, right, good. So
Doesn't even matter if it's a good quality hot dog at that point.
There you go, Shannon. You know what H.L. Mencken said? He said, no one ever went broke underestimating the average intelligence of the American public. So sell your hot dogs.
Right.
Quality sufficient for the drunks, okay? But the idea here is that quantity happened.
Right.
Now they could have set up camp on Wednesday afternoon.
And there would have been a supply or demand.
Right. But Saturday night at 2 a.m. Oh man, sign me up for that. Right. So think about this, guys. This what's coming up for me. The idea right now is the economy of effort. The economy of effort. So if we're looking at, all right, supplies handled, that's great. Quality, right? Assuming you like your product, you do good designs, you've got good fulfillment. Great. So supply and quality, let's say, are handled. All right. So then it's demand and quantity, which go hand in hand. Okay. So that's where you want to turn your attention. If you're finding that you're lacking in those areas, as T. Harv suggested. What do you guys think about this? Floor's open.
All right.
How's that for pulling a topic out of midair?
That was great.
There you go. That just happened. What do you think, Shannon, or anybody else? Come on out, you guys.
Well, I have a story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a glass artist. When we have our get-togethers before COVID and Marketplace, there's a lot of us. Usually we all have the same, thing, a bowl, a platter or jewelry, but, it's all the same. So with me, I'm like, I was trying to think outside the box. So this last Marketplace that I went to, I'm like, okay, what's going on around us? And I found out that it was a VW. The VW bug was having some type of, people who collect them. So what did I do? I went and I started making things with not the symbol, but the car, the old fashioned, the 1960s. And I did very well. And then I thought, beam, light bulb, to find out, like you said, what's in demand. So, yeah, I got that. I understand that. That happened to me.
Wow. So it works. Look at that.
Yeah, it works.
Well done, Elise.
Yeah, just sharing.
Nice. Good
Well, now
time.
that I'm doing the mugs, actually things that I do in glass, in the mugs, I can actually do with glass, which during the training was like, wow. So I'm learning. I'm just starting out. It seems like every time I get ready to do something, I get sick. I've been really sick, and just trying to. I'm taking it slow because I have to now, and I'm getting there. So I'm kind of happy to be involved.
Nice. So glad you're here, my friend.
Thank you.
Glad you're here, Elise. All right. Stu, I got I'm out of context. I'm not sure what that was you sent me, but I got it. Just acknowledging that. Hey, Alec, come on out, brother.
Hey, you talked about supply and demand, and I don't remember, just as Elise was saying right now. I mean, she found at one point that she saw marketplace, and so I will the same tell a story. I used to go into competition with this one guy. He was a fantastic artist. He made me look like I knew absolutely nothing. He made me look like I had just gotten out of kinder when it came to him drawing. However, he did charge a ridiculous amount. So he was getting his buys every now and then. See, I started to look around, and I started to notice that everybody had kids. So I kind of redirected my artwork at the time, and I was like, hey, well, adults really don't want to buy this. Really, I mean, what parent isn't going to want to go ahead and buy something for their kids? So I charged a little bit less. Well, actually, I charged a lot less, but I was constantly working. And while he had his big sale, and you know, like I said, he was a fantastic artist, but I started to realize that he had a sale maybe once every few weeks, once a month.
Mm-hmm.
I was constantly doing something. But then it did switch. I mean, it not only stayed as that, it wound up evolving into like, hey, well, I did learn to sew at the time. So I started just fixing people's clothes. People that hey, you know what? If you need something fixed, I got you. You know?
What do you
Ripped
call
shirt.
a male seamstress? Is there a word for that?
I don't
Tailor,
know.
I suppose. Tailor?
A tailor, I guess.
Tailor.
Taylor.
Yes, it's Taylor.
Yeah, and I just saw that there was a see, he focused mainly on coming out with some of the best artwork I have ever seen.
Well, you know what, Alec? If you combine art with tailoring, you're a clothing designer. Have you missed your calling here? Are you a clothing designer?
I don't know. Am I?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, what is Versace and Louis Vuitton? Oh my goodness. You guys ever see the Louis Vuitton posters? You're walking through the shopping mall, Louis Vuitton, and they got like some woman standing like on a canoe in a mud pit with like a dog in her hand and like a handbag, and like her hair is up here. Like, what? Nobody dresses like that. Nobody even wants to look like that. And yet people are spending $2,000 for a purse or something. This is ridiculous. I don't get it.
Yep.
I don't have to get it. I'm not the marketplace.
And you see, and the marketplace at the time was not so much focused on good tailoring, if that's what you want to call it, or they weren't focused on good artwork, because everybody was focused on, hey, I think my daughter will like that. Hey, I think my son will like that. Now, I did charge a lot less,
And it's
but
affordable.
I was constantly working. Yeah, it was very affordable. and I was constantly producing something. And if I wasn't drawing something, it was like, hey, well, my shirt ripped, so you think you can fix it? Like, you know what? Give it to me. Give it to me. I got you. Let's do this.
Okay,
And then
well,
you do that.
I would just say, don't undervalue yourself, right?
right.
It's fine to offer. It's fine to offer incentives, discounts, promotions to get people in the door. Look, one of the companies that I work with, they lose money for like the first year on every customer they bring in. But their customer retention is through the friggin' roof. Like nobody's leaving. They make money on you next year.
Yeah.
So
Right.
considerations. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So if you're going to do like what Alex just described, right? You're going to get somebody in the door for $10 or nothing. You lose money, whatever. You damn well better have an upsell, repeat business,
Right.
referrals, right? The lifetime value of that customer has to go up.
Yeah.
Because the hardest part is getting the customer, right? That's what we're talking about, demand.
Right.
Well, now you've got initial demand. Can we increase the quantity of demand from that source point, that customer, right? Interesting consideration. Scott, and then Stu. Hey, Scott, what's up, brother?
Good morning, everyone. I think I'd like to
Morning.
catch up with a little point that Elise mentioned. Very interesting. She was talking about thinking outside the box, and I think that's really quite critical. I think, as you say, we're dealing with a supply and demand situation, and when we look at spot niches and other sort of analytical tools, they're analyzing the degree of competition that we have to deal with. So obviously, with the low-hanging system, we're looking at getting into parts of the market where the competition is less. So it'll make it easier, obviously, to make a sale. Now, that's good in theory, but the problem is, as more people are coming into the marketplace, those pockets of unsupplied demand are becoming fewer and fewer and not as deep as obviously the big niche areas. So the question becomes, how do you access? Do you actually just try and supply untapped parts of the market, or is there another approach? And what I'm thinking is, yes, you can create a very wide net and get all the little niches and sub niches that are not being dealt with now, and that's fine, and that can work quite well. But as you're getting millions and millions more people going on to Etsy and Amazon, whatever, as suppliers, those opportunities become less and less because they're filling in all those little gaps in the market. So then you really do have to think outside the box. And as you mentioned before, you can increase the demand by promoting, by advertising, so more people actually see you. But also, I think you have to improve the quality of what you're doing, so that you can actually tap the bigger markets that are already established. You have to basically break into those bigger markets, because eventually the small little pockets, at the moment, they're obviously they're there, and a lot of people are not utilizing them. But the challenge with tapping all the small little sub niches is that you have to work much harder to find them and access them and capitalize on them. But if you see something that's a big niche that's working for a lot of people, if you can really think outside the box, and radically think outside the box, you can improve your quality and tap into that market at an angle that other people are not tapping into it. And if you can do that, then you can actually tap into larger markets, and then the opportunity then becomes to scale up and to focus on those big markets, but to scale up, which is not possible with tiny markets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
well, let me offer.
Sorry?
Go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry. You were saying?
So ideally, yes, we should have a broad net for all the little pockets that are not being supplied to, but don't neglect the big markets, because with that alternative thinking outside the box, you can still tap into those. Now, we are told, go for the low-hanging fruit. But the trouble is, in the forest, a lot of creatures go for the low-hanging fruit, and they give up on the stuff that's a little bit higher. But if you up your game in terms of customer service, in terms of the quality of the design, in terms of well, it's the repeat business, as you mentioned, very important. Customer service and repeat business go very much hand in hand, and a lot of people are neglecting that. And there's a huge scope there. In terms of the presentation of the shop, all these things that you think are peripheral, they are very significant. And you just take a casual look at the best-selling products and then look at their shops. They're very different to the ones that are not best-selling shops, because all these peripheral things you might think are peripheral are having significant impact. They're improving the quality of the experience. And that's the key to me. That's part of the key of what it's all about. Not just slapping on a design on a mug. It's so much more than that.
Sure. If you're going to play the bigger game, can I give you an exhibit?
Please.
Okay. So this doesn't directly relate to black text on a white coffee mug. Okay. This would be upping the game. But if you're going to sell something to me, so we're going to use a real market segment right now, in this case, the one that I'm in. Okay. If you want to know the kind of stuff that I buy when I'm looking at non-consequential purchases like t-shirts. Okay. Here is a website where I have purchased stuff. It's called Hot Leathers. It's for bikers. I'm a biker, as I think you guys know. What do we got here? Shirt of the week. Oh, I can't live without that. I need to go shopping now. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness. Men's t-shirts. Oh, I like that one and that one and that one and that one. Look, what do you see in common with all this? We got skulls. We got biker stuff. Man, oh, there's the shirt from Sturgis, 82nd annual, blah, 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 right? All right, great. So does that mean that the market's saturated now because I just bought my skull t-shirt from Hot Leathers? But wait, there's more. Here's a company that I didn't even know existed until they impinged on my attention. And they started pushing t-shirts in my face because I apparently like, Americana and skulls and stars and stripes and blah, blah, blah. Right? What? Oh, look at this. Irish. Well, we started our whole conversation today with me acknowledging how Irish everyone looked. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, latest releases. Oh my goodness. That's nice. This is the one I got. Look at that. Huh? You want to see art? Look at that, baby. Wow. Okay. So now the knitting lady doesn't want that. Okay. And the gardener couldn't care less about your, snake, whatever. Okay. But me, they just got $30 from me. $30. I don't need any more t-shirts. You know how many freaking t-shirts I have? But man, that was a nice design. So they hit the target. They hit it.
Yeah.
All right. We got more hands up now. Oh boy, Scott, we just opened a can of worms, brother. It's all your fault. We got Stu, then Pat, then Deborah. Hey, Stu, come on out, brother.
Hey, John. Thank you. So I may have, not sure how to tie this in with your subject, but I think it does somehow. I may have just inadvertently made my first sale, but it might be a hockey team because my buddy is the captain of a adults hockey team, men's hockey team. And when he heard what I was into, he said, "You guys do shirts and hats?" I said, "Yeah, we do." I think I didn't say I think, but I know that if what Gear Bubble can't do, there's other PODs, right? So anyhow, my mind, once it got over the 12 guys or whatever it is, I immediately thought of 12 guys Christmas shopping, right? 12 guys Mother's Day, right? So if I can make these 12 guys happy with a logo on a shirt and their hat. By the way, this morning I said, what's your slogan? He said, "Well, we don't have one." I said, "Well, what's the name of the team?" He said, "We're the Golds." It belongs to a community center, so they just have their red, green, gold, and yellows. That's the name of their team, the Golds. I said, "Okay, how about always golden, never rusting?" Right? And he's love it. So I did up some mock-ups for him, and we'll see what happens. But yeah,
There you go.
that's it.
That's beautiful, Stuart. So remember, I asked you guys, are there rules here? There's no rules. Stuart makes the rules, right? Yeah, I do t-shirts. Of course I do t-shirts. Oh, you need a slogan? I'm a copywriter too now. The price just went up, by the way. The price just went up. Pat, what do you think? And then we'll go to Deborah.
Okay, two things. One, remarking on what he said, I watched a video on YouTube last night about Etsy selling, and the woman said that the way she started was with a Facebook group. She invited anybody and everybody she knew, and then linked her store Facebook to a group, and did, like you said, with a weekly offering or a raffle, or different things like that. And, if you invite a friend, you'll get a coupon. And she said she now has literally 1 million people on her Facebook group. And, that was tying into that. But the thing I was originally thinking of, and I got it from a Bible teacher, I don't know whether it's Spurgeon or one of those, but he said, first you shake the tree. He said, then you shake the bough. Then you shake the branch, and then you shake the twig. So it's like a niche where you're going, start with dogs, and go from, then go into dog loss, or go into dog this, or dog that. And like we diversify, but there's one site I found on Etsy when I was doing SEO research, that all she sells is things to do with Manx cats. She didn't sell anything else. That's her niche. She had jewelry, she had pillows, anything you want about a Manx cat, you can find it in her store. So I felt like there's really two ways to go after we've got the experience and we've learned what sells and what doesn't, but just throwing that out there.
Thank you. So you said men's hats?
Huh?
Hats, men's hats?
No, a cat, MANX,
Ah,
a cat. That's all it is, that one type of cat.
got it. I just said hats. Reminded
Yeah.
me of a joke. Did you hear about the store that it was Jesus and the haberdasher got together and made a store? They called it Lord and Taylor. No laughs on that one. Okay, very good. So Deborah, come on out. Help me, Deborah. Save me. Where's Deborah? Let's get you out here, Deborah.
I'm sorry. I actually heard the store was named Taylor, and the tailor was so much into his store that he named it Lord. The Lord was part of his work, and Lord and Taylor. So I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, but I wanted to. I enjoy hearing Alex and Stu, and also I think it was Elise. And you talked about supply, demand, quality, and quantity. Now I'm from the generation that people were crazy enough to buy the moon ring and the pet rock.
Sure.
And I always think, what in the age made the people go crazy over a rock out of a stone quarry and call it a pet? So when I look at this type of business and you look at demand, because demand is in the eye of the beholder, just what makes demand. An artist will go down in New York and post a installation, paint a canvas 10 by 5 or 6 green and put a red dot in the center and get thousands of dollars for it. So it's just crazy. And your t-shirts. So I think when you look at something that's a business like this, creative, you have to look at what you can put into it. That we talked about your unique selling proposition, but what makes you unique and what you can pull from other sources creatively. And this is to me, is a high creative business. I know you talk about supply, you talk about quality, but if your creation is not there, that draws people that want your product, like a pet rock. I think I'm gonna do a pet mug and see if that'll sell, but I don't see it without the creative demand. That's what I'm thinking about.
Thank
And you
you.
think of people like the Kardashians that started out with a pocketbook and just simple thing, lipstick. What in the world? I see Dora shaking her head. What in the world would make people want to buy from these people? But they do. They did. So yeah.
Right. So you and I don't get it, right? I'm like, like the Louis Vuitton thing. I don't know. I think it's repulsive, but you know what? I'm not the other 7.5 billion people on the planet. So hit a nerve. And then look, I heard about people buying garbage from Yankee Stadium, like a plexiglass box with real authentic Yankee Stadium garbage in it. $100. All right. I don't get it. I don't have to get it. Other people get it. Thank
That's
you,
all you
Deborah.
have to worry about. Whoever wants it and whoever gets it, just buy it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, guys, we got to wrap up. Pat, you've got your hand up again. Pat, last word.
Okay, I was just going to say with that, my father lived in Las Vegas, and when that pet rock thing was going crazy, he sold little tiny bells of Las Vegas sand and Lake Mead water. And he made, it wasn't a fortune, but as long as it lasted, he got $1 or $2 for each of them. And, it was his gambling money. Wow. And Bruce Springsteen used to live in a town adjacent to us. And people used to go and steal his garbage and sell it. That he finally had to get a thing with a lock and key, like the like the restaurants do, to keep them from coming in and invading his garbage. Unbelievable.
Guys, I would venture that everyone here has a higher IQ than the customers that Pat was just describing. That's good. Otherwise, I'd be probably in the wrong spot right now with this conversation. So anyway, thank you all for your input on this. I'm going to be back here with you on Friday. So set your clocks. If you can't be on time, be early. Bring a dog or a cat and bring a joke. We're going to have a fun Friday this week. So love you guys. Make it a great day. Okay. You so deserve it. We'll see you back here on Friday. Tune